This is the list of accessories required to hold the competition. The scheme of all of the maneuvers over the airfields and photos of MFOs. 10 rectangular orange panels 3 by 2 meters with black letters or signs on them. To fix the panels on the ground, you will need big pins and a hammer. Fixing the panels. Watch they are not backside up. The other 2 panels should have letters I and O on them. They will mark the entrance and the exit of the search zone. Three triangular panels with numbers on them for TPS. Paper envelopes with the competition map and all of the required instructions. This is how the map looks. This is how the instruction for the flight looks. You will need at least 8 loggers. Empty sealed envelopes for crew's mobile phones. A skittle with the rope attached to it, minimum 8 pieces, and a numbered fabric bags, minimum 16 pieces. Tablets and pens for the judges. Stopwatches for the judges. Hard hats and visibility jackets for the judges. The doghouse according to the rules. 2 targets for bags, diameter of 5 meters. 2 yellow panels 15 by 1 meter, line A. 2 more panels for line F. And 4 more panels of the same size but white for the search zone. 2 white flags for judges on lines A and F. Minimum 8 red flags. 2 for line P, 2 for line D, and 4 for the landing zone. Chairs for judges. Precise clock in start and in finish zone. Set the time by GPS. The knob of the radio must be fixed at the airfield frequency. Judging at lines P and D. Judges on the preparation line should have numbered fabric bags, skittles, a logger, and an empty envelope for securing the crew's phones. At the departure line, judges must have pre-sealed envelopes with a map and all of the flight instructions, which must be handed to the crew exactly 5 minutes before the departure. The crew and the cabin can be investigated for any prohibited items. The judges make sure that the helicopter's nose does not cross the start line before the appointed time, and that the delay does not exceed 15 seconds. All of the results must be immediately fixed in the score sheets. These are some safety measures for judges in the starting zone. Always go around the front of the helicopter. Stay in sight of a pilot. Keep an eye on the time. If possible, it's better to have judges on the route. They control the right flight over the turning points and the right enter and exit to and from the search zone. Judging at lines A, F, and C. Judging at line A.
To determine the exact time of arrival to Line A, the judges should start the stopwatch in advance, according to the master clock. Do it 5, 4 or 3 minutes before the scheduled arrival time of each crew.
The time stops when the nose of the helicopter crosses the front edge of the line A. Landing lights are on. Deviation from the direct track is not more than 30 degrees. Height should be from 15 to 45 meters. The ground speed should be not less than 30 km per hour. No hovering allowed. When dropping the bags, the judge controls the height, which should be not less than 10 meters, and the ground speed of the helicopter, which should not be less than 30 km per hour. The time between bag impacts should not be more than 12 seconds. The hit of the bag on the target is judged by the first touch of the ground. Here, the bag hits the target. Here, the bag does not hit the target. When judges at line A wave their flag, judges at line F start their stopwatches. The flight between lines A and F must last 60 seconds. No hovering allowed. The time stops when the helicopter nose crosses line F. The arithmetic mean time of the two stopwatches must be recorded in the score sheet.
Прям молодцы.
У меня на 3 секунды опоздали, у меня на 3 секунды раньше.
Maximum time between crossing line F and releasing the skittle rope is 20 seconds. When the judge on line F waves his flag, judges at line C start their stopwatches. Judges at line C should control. The rope is fully extended prior to crossing the line 5 meters short of the doghouse. The crew member holds the rope at the grip. The rope has no knots and is not shortened. Both pilot and crew member remain seated and fastened. The skittle does not touch the ground or the doghouse. Judges need to agree in advance who is watching the skittle and who is watching the crew member. Judges at line C should stop their stopwatches when the rope is released. The skittle touching the ground is 5 penalty points. The skittle touching the doghouse's open side gives you no penalty points. The skittle touching the roof gives you 2 penalty points for each touch. The landing zone is situated near the doghouse. After the landing, the judges come up to the helicopter in sight of the pilot. They take the envelope with the map and an identification sheet, the logger and the sealed envelope with the mobile phones. The crew member should hand the envelope to the judge immediately after landing. Judges also check the seal at the radio. judge immediately takes the envelopes and the logo to the scoring room. The crew flies to the parking area, where the judge's assistant accompanies them to the prison. Mobile phones can be given back to pilots after the last crew has departed. Safety for judges. Put on the hard hat and the visibility jackets. Always keep the helicopter in your sight. In case of emergency, if the helicopter's tail approaches to you, fall to ground. Go around the front part of the helicopter. Approach the helicopter from its front or side, staying inside of the pilot. The judge should have clothing and shoes for all weather conditions. Rubber boots, a raincoat and a warm jacket can be useful, as well as a hairdress and a mosquito or horsefly repellent. Judges in the search zone should have drinking water supply and charged mobile phone or a radio. Do not use any headphones to listen to the music. Better sing it yourself. Do not get distracted. The crew can make a mistake in time and arrive earlier. The preliminary results should be published not later than 3 hours after the competition. During 1 hour after publishing the results, the complaints may be logged. Be attentive at the judge briefing. Don't hesitate to ask questions if you have any.